Welcome back to the Parallel Universe. I'm your host, Logan Bruce, and in the Square Table Studios via the internet, I have Goeffrey Jean-Louis, a creator over at Saturday AM, the world's most diverse manga anthology. Jeffrey, how you doing?
It's been pretty good. Glad to be on. Thank you for having me on
Oh
today.
man, yeah, my pleasure, my pleasure. I appreciate you um, taking out your time and your busy schedule to join us here in the Square Table Studios. So we're going to talk a little bit about your book, your Yellow Stringer. Uh, I read this and I enjoyed every bit of it. It's a fun book to read. Um, so tell us a little bit about. First of all, let's tell us a little bit about yourself and where you came from and how you got started with Saturday AM.
Yeah, sure. So, as I said, I'm Goeffrey Jean-Louis. I was born in New York, but my family is Haitian as well as I. And I've been drawing for as long as I could remember, probably since three or four, ever since my brother was into comics and things like that. And then obviously into a lot of cartoons that I would grow up with as well. And the way I got started with Saturday AM was through a short comic through their summer of manga in 2017 called Mara the Martian. And it was just this like slice of life story about a bunch of Martians and different friendship and things like that. And through that, Frederick liked it enough that it ended up being published in one of the Saturday AM magazines. And it kind of just started going there since. He liked my work. He had ended up pitching me like a couple ideas. There was one that was a sports manga, and then there was one that was a supernatural mystery. And I always ended up gravitating towards more of that kind of stuff. Been very into Detective Conan and general like ghost story mysteries on YouTube and things like that. So I picked that one, and then we just kind of started developing it from there. And the way that he was able to write the story was always really interesting and fun to me. And it of course gave me a lot of um, fun things to draw, especially throughout that whole volume. Um, and yeah, and that's kind of so far my time with Saturday AM, and I'm still working on a new comic at the moment with them called Saturday Playdate. That is a chibi comic, chibi gag manga that's very much like Teen Titans Go, but for all the Saturday AM characters. So, and yeah, and that's been a really fun one. I have a lot of exciting things coming up with that as well.
Okay, okay. Well, how soon can we can expect that one, the Saturday play day? How close are you to being finished with that and being able to release it?
Well, there's been a couple chapters that have come out through their Saturday AM issues. I want to say the first one came out in 2023, and then there was a few that was released through 2024 and this year.
Okay.
And um, yeah, it's just something that we're just gonna keep going with. And yeah, so through the last few issues of Saturday AM, you can go and read some of the Saturday Plated issues. They're all very silly, so have a good time with it.
Well, that's fun. There's nothing wrong with being silly. That keeps us young, keeps us happy. So, are you going to have all of them combined in one novel, or is it just through the magazine?
Trying to steadily build up enough issues to where if something like that were to come up, it could be like, hey, here it is. So it's something we're definitely planning out, but nothing is confirmed yet. So it's just kind of testing the waters and seeing how the comic is going to go.
Okay. Well, I know I'll be first in line to pick it up if y'all do go that route.
Appreciate that.
Because I love Saturday. So, tell us a little bit about Yellow Stringer and what's this all about?
Yeah, so Yellow Stringer is about these two journalists, Naomi and Tony, and it is essentially them going around town and uncovering monsters in their city that are the cause of crimes, but they're writing for a tabloid magazine. So when they tell about these stories, nobody really believes it. But they're setting out to tell get the truth out there in a magazine, but it's a very uh like tabloid-esque magazine like National Enquirer. But so it's like X Files, but just mixed with Scooby Doo and just a little bit of like goofy manga fun,
Yeah.
but with
And
some
that's
but with some serious like horror tones as well.
yeah. When I was reading it, that's kind of the vibe I got. X Files, Scooby Doo. and a little bit of Men in Black in there because with the
Hmm.
tabloid newspaper type thing. Because nobody really believes that, and that the tabloids whatever, whatever. But I love how they're looking for the truth. They're trying to expose it, and nobody's really believing them. So can you tell us a little bit how this came about? How you and Frederick came together to start developing Yellow String?
Yeah. So it was right after Mara the Martian, and that's where they discovered me. And from there, I was talking to Frederick, and as I said earlier, he pitched that idea, and that was the one that I ended up latching onto. And it went through a lot of development. I think that was around 2017, 2018. And it was really just me still figuring out a lot of things because Mara the Martian was actually the first, not just the first published work that I had, but also really the first project that I ever completed. Because I'm also victim to a lot of perfectionism and a lot of that kind of stuff,
Uh,
especially back then. So it took a lot out of me to go and finish a project. And so that was the first one. And then moving on to Yellow Stringer, there was a lot of things that I had to learn, a lot of new things, just trying to make something consistently like that, but also drawing something that was a bit more serious in tone. Um, and yeah, and we just kind of kept going from there. And now it's what it is in this volume that we had. And it's something I'm super proud of that uh, I got to pleasure working with Frederick on.
Man, that's awesome. I really, like I said earlier, I really enjoy reading this because first of all, what it did for me, because I was when I started reading, I thought it was just the whole, you know, one story. But as you get into it, it's different stories all in here, and I really
Mhm.
appreciate that because I was reading the first one, I was like, wait a minute, this is coming to an end. They're about to solve this and figure out who it is. So it's like you got a bunch of episodes in this one novel here, and I really appreciate that because you get a sense, you get to learn Tony, you get to learn Naomi a little bit more, and the things that kind of move them and drive them, especially with Tony, him being the ex cop and everything,
Yeah.
and and how he brings that into his journalism. So I really appreciate the different stories that were all brought in this one manga. So that's really good. I really enjoyed that. Was that your idea? Was that Fred's? Who was that to come up with different stories?
So that was more of Fred's idea, and it was something that I had to learn along the way for telling really um completed stories in a short amount of time. Because I never really grew up on American comics. I mostly grew up on things like manga, and it was something that Frederick had like really hammered into my head about the fact that like manga can kind of be really spacious with its pacing to where you could have 20 pages and it might just be like a few punches that were thrown and a lot of thoughts. But in American comic, especially one that's monthly, usually they have a lot more things that are going on in there because this is a story that you're going to be only getting once a month, as opposed to manga where it's usually weekly. And so it's something that I had to learn, and I understand, especially now, the importance of that because when Yellow Stringer was releasing in Saturday PM, it was a quarterly manga. So at first it was bi-monthly, and then it started going quarterly. So only every 3 months it'd be a story. So that was definitely his idea, and it was something that was definitely a learning curve. But I really appreciate that experience because I feel like being able to tell so much with only so little pages is a skill that you get when you read American comics a lot, and I think sometimes it's a little harder with manga. So yeah, I
Okay.
thought it was a really great thing.
And that's something that I keep hearing. I've had other Saturday AM creators here on the Parallel Universe, and they all say a lot of the same thing about having to learn something different and something new. As you mentioned, you had to tell the story in such a little bit of space. Or in how manga is different from American comics and everything. So that's something about Saturday AM that I do appreciate. They just don't kind of throw you to the wolves, so to speak. It seems like they really try to teach you different things and teach you different methods, or help you improve on the things that you are, you're already doing that's great, help you make those things even better. So, it's just not like I said, having you out there withdraw this and but they actually,
Hmm.
teach you how to make something like Yellow Stringer and the other mangas that have been written, how to make that even better and how it can relate to all the audiences. So that's a beautiful thing from Saturday AM. So other than learning that about manga versus American comics, what's some of the other things that you had to kind of learn and say, okay, well, this is why how I used to do it, but this is something I have to change or have to get better at.
I think in general, just getting better with time, um, and time management, because that was something I struggled with before, very heavily. And so sometimes it would lead to chapters being missed in some months, sometimes rushed chapters. It's sometimes even uh, in that book a little bit, although I did try to make a whole bunch of edits before that book came out. But I think that was one of the biggest things that I had to learn was being able to manage my time correctly. Because it's we just don't have, like, I don't have the kind of resources that say like a professional manga author would have, where they have assistants or like comic artists where they can split up the work in pieces. And so most of it is drawn purely by myself, outside of maybe a couple help with some of my friends. Um, so yeah, that was the really big thing that I had to learn. And in general, I think I love what Saturday M does, where they're really blending not like the Japanese and American style, both in storytelling and in visual storytelling. And so that's something that I've also had to learn, but also like really, like, it speaks to my core, because a lot of the stuff that I try to draw and write is inspired by not just the anime and manga that I watched, but the cartoons or TV shows that I watched when I was growing up as well.
Okay. So tell us just a little bit about some of the manga and the cartoons that help inspire you and keep you focused on, learning to draw and everything.
Oh yeah, no, there's so much. Uh, I think for Yellow Stringer, the one thing that was really that made me so hyped about is because I was really into Detective Conan at the time, and then still into it to an extent. Um, and that's one of my favorite series of all time. Just so many good mystery stories, even though it has such a silly plot, but the mysteries are so intricate, and it's something that I absolutely love. Um, and then besides that, stuff that are really funny, like Ed, and Eddie, Dexter's Laboratory, all those old school Cartoon Network shows, I would watch those a lot. Um, And then with manga, like, of course, things like Naruto, One Piece, all those things and stuff that I always latched onto as a kid as well. And then even nowadays, it's, I think, probably skewing to more different things, like trying to get more into novels and more graphic novels that are sometimes Canadian, sometimes French, or even other TV shows that have been coming out recently. Like Severance was one that was really good that I've started picking up on as well. And even watching like X Files, especially, was something that was really, really fun to do. Yeah, so
Okay.
there's a whole list. I could go on forever.
Well, yeah, hey, I won't stop you, man. You can name as many as you want, man. I love to hear this. This is great. I definitely, yeah, X Files. I could definitely see it, especially they would, like I said, because X Files was trying to expose the truth about aliens and everything, and so that's what these guys are doing as well. Uh, so, what was it your idea for being ex cop and a journalist? Who came up with the idea for Naomi and Tony?
um, so it's interesting because Naomi is more my idea, but I had originally kind of pitched it as two girls that were um the stars of this one, and but the cop idea was something that was more Fred's, because it was like, maybe you just have a guy and a girl, and it ended up kind of going well, because I think he expected somebody that was like the same age as Naomi, and for whatever reason I drew somebody that was like older than her by like 10, 20 years at least. And it kind of just worked out to have this like ex-cop and this college graduate who has like, the world ahead of her, but she chooses to be in this magazine called Yellow Stringer that is not really super well looked upon. And the same thing with Tony, where it's like the ex-cop who is going into this different field to still do the same thing that he does, and that's like helping people. And that was definitely more of Frederick's idea. But I love it all.
Yeah.
It's all great.
And they fit together so well. You like you said, you wouldn't expect that. You got this older gentleman who's old enough to be her dad, almost her grandfather could be,
Yeah.
and this young girl who was she is, just like you said, had got the world in front of her. She's got these high hopes and everything, and you got this old veteran cop, and I mean they fit together so well, and I mean it blends just perfect. It's like two colors that you don't expect to go together, but then when you put on the outfit, you're like, oh wow, this looks good. That's how those two are to me. And they got each other's back. They're down for each other. They're here to help, and they, like you said, they're trying to expose this truth and make sure catch these monsters and that are committing these crimes, man. And so I really love Yellow Stringer. Now, my question is, will there be a volume two?
I I can't really speak on it at all.
Oh, you're gonna leave
Uh,
us hanging. No,
they, they,
no. Okay, okay.
yeah, it's
We
it's
go.
it's all up in the air.
Okay, so
All I can say is I can't
I'm
say much.
okay. No pressure. You don't have to tell us. I'm gonna put that though in the yes there is column and wait and see. I'm hoping there'll be a volume two because I really love this. I mean, I've read a lot of different things from Saturday AM, and I have not been disappointed yet. And Yellow Stringer is right up there with them, man. I was so happy to get a chance to meet you and to buy this and pick this up, man, because this is a wonderful, wonderful book. And I love the different stories because all throughout the whole manga, the stories are different and the monsters are different and the situation is different. And it had me hooked, man. It had me hooked, and I couldn't wait to turn the page to see what was going to happen next. And I was just, it kept me on the edge of my seat because I didn't know what was about to happen. And someone was like, "Oh wow, I didn't expect that." So I loved it, man. I mean, just good artistry, good storytelling, man. It was wonderful. I absolutely love Yellow Stringer, and I am pushing for Yellow Stringer too. If you can't tell, I'm gonna go and put it out there. So if I need to make a call to Fred and say, "Hey, what are we doing?" I'll do it for you.
Hopefully one of these days.
Yeah. That'll be so great, man. That'll be so great.
I
Okay,
appreciate
so
that.
yeah, man, to see Naomi and Tony back in action, suited up one more time for the ride. That'll be great. So, other than Yellow Stringer, we're gonna say you're working on it, and your Saturday, Saturday play day. What else would you like to maybe start doing? Is there any other uh kind of a manga that you would like to work on? Any kind of pitches that you have in the back of your head ready to spring on Fred and say, hey, how about we do this?
I have ideas in the back of my head. I feel like everything is way too loose for me to ever get into it, but I always have so many ideas. It's one of those things where like um I just write in the background a lot of stuff, and I would love to work on some one shots, especially
Okay.
because I feel like I never got to make as many one shots as I wanted to do. And so there's a lot of short stories that I would like to tell and explore different things as well, especially stuff that are fantasy as well. It's
Mm,
something I'm heavily interested in, especially with the architecture and things like that. But so far, right now, my main focus is on Saturday Playdate and drawing, just constantly drawing as much of that as I can, and
all
then
right.
we'll see what goes from there. You know?
Here we go. All right. That sounds great, man.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to all of it.
yeah. Thank
Yellow
you.
Stringer Volume 2. We're gonna keep our fingers crossed.
Hopefully, one of these
And
days.
and Saturday Play Day. I'm looking forward to all of that, man. Uh Jeffrey, man, it's been so great having you here. I know you guys are really busy. That's why I'm trying to keep this short because I know you have deadlines and things like that you have to meet. And I know you guys at Saturday and are extremely busy. I know there's a lot of wonderful things coming out and wonderful announcements and things like that are about to happen. I'm looking forward to every last one of them. So I don't want to hold you too long, but I really appreciate you taking your time to come here into the Square Table Studios and talk to us about Yellow Stringer, Saturday AM and Saturday Play Day. So just let everyone know where they can see your works and how they can get in contact with you and all that good stuff.
Yeah. So usually I go by Detective Weeb. Um, I mostly post on Instagram, but I also have a Twitter account as well because I'm not calling it X. But
No one does. No one calls
um,
games.
no one does. Um, and so far those are the only places I post anything really. But it'll probably grow in the future. There's some things that I do want to try and work out as well, and trying to be more active on social media because I haven't really been active much these days. But hopefully, we'll get there soon.
I hope so. So Detective Weeb on Instagram and on Twitter, correct?
Yeah,
All right, all right. Thank you so very much, Jeffrey. We appreciate it. So you guys, you heard them. Check out Yellow Stringer. It's Saturday AM. Check out Saturday Play Date on the Saturday AM magazine. So thank you so very much again, Jeffrey. I really appreciate it. And as always, we'll see you in a parallel universe.